There are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my head right now while I'm driving. Apparently, this AI thing that they're using, it only I guess what am I trying to say? The AI has its own ticker. I don't know how to explain it. So basically, it'll only remain on the subject, what this AI technology that they're using to talk into my head, for as long as is necessary to investigate whoever it is they're claiming needs investigation. And it seems as though it has already completed whatever it is and wants to report back its findings. And the terrorists talking in my head, I mean, they're talking every second of the day, and it seems as though they're reactivating it or stopping it from going into its complete mode, or when it's completed a task or whatever the command is that they've told it to do. And they're trying to basically steer. They want me within a certain network to avoid being in theirs, because then if there were any findings, then in fact they would come back as suspects to a crime or to the crimes committed. They're talking in my head and they're abusing me. So they want to traffic me away from whatever networks they're involved with, and at the same time they're trying to decide as to what to get. Like they torture me all day, interrupt my thought process, basically in hopes that I'll give up and I'll look for some way to relieve my pain, my emotional or physical pain, but using alternative methods, so that it looks like I, in a sound mind, made the decision to go do drugs. And it's just, this is like, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. And the terrorists talking in my head won't let up. They won't go away. There's nothing at all here. And the bitches keep saying they've murdered kids in my head. They have said they murdered Bernadette Orozco, David Basile, Daniel Atkins, CK, Shady murdered Dr. Georgie. They murdered, who else? Thomas. I mean, they've said so many names of people that were just found dead, maybe anywhere between like a day to 4 days later. And they keep screaming that over and over. I mean, they've said it over and over in my head. And that isn't an attempt. They're talking in my head. They're clearly murderers, serial killers, and they're depriving my daughter of being nourished and nurtured and loved and stimulated and feeling secure, and singling her out because now she's embarrassed to have people over. She's embarrassed to go anywhere. She's always at home, always sleeping from depression because I'm like in and out of the hospital all the time. I think she's having separation anxiety. She doesn't want to leave. She thinks her mom's going to die. And I actually do too. I think I'm going to die. I think they're murder. I mean, I think if they could get there, if at all they can manage to find a way to murder me and make it look like it was out of my pure will and intention that I either committed suicide or placed myself in a circumstance that led to it, and it was unexpected, and I just died. That would be optimal for the terrorist talking in my head. It is constant, and these sick bitches, I mean, they won't let up. What else I was gonna say? I hear them right now. I'm in front of cameras and I hear them right now. Oh, I hear them in my head. So I want to make it very clear, because they're talking in my head and they're saying these things. So you start to assess, like, why are they screaming they're real people? Why are they screaming such obscenities? Why are they talking in my head? Why? And you start to formulate, a very logical conclusion as to, and it seems as though, based on, what I'm hearing, there are records involved with these that are being produced with these telepathy technologies. And with those records, they want to say that the voices I heard in my head were coming from outside. They're trying to say, and they're like trying to focus in on me and steer me. So while I'm working, it is like constantly like rereading a sentence over and over and over again, and then being dizzy, and then my vision goes blurred, and then it's them screaming like, you stupid bitch, you fucking whore, you fucking stupid bitch, while I'm working to try and to stabilize financially to help my kids. I am 40. They have done this for 7 years. My birthday is on Monday. They are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. I want them sentenced to death. I want them sentenced to death. They keep trying to say, get out of our fucking lives, you stupid bitch. They're psychotic trash. What I know for a fact is that they want it to sound like it's coming from outside. So as long as they want it to sound that way, anyone that is that feels comfortable enough and is like, Renee, you're actually losing your mind, and means it, okay, is gonna come gladly in my life and not worry about what I have to say. On the contrary, would put my mind at ease that they're comfortable enough to be around me. Because the terrorists in my head, there's no way in fucking hell. They're screaming in my head, they're murderers and serial killers, and they've committed crimes against humanity and genocide. And then I'm thinking even more, they're trying to instill this insecurities, and trying to instill fear, and trying to instill a sense of hopelessness and worthlessness, and trying to instill and just kind of frame like what they're trying to basically set the standard for their victim, and say, hey, medical attention. The doctors are the ones that are they're drugging you. We're real people. You're getting drugged. And then a lot of the victims of these terrorists talking in my head actually believe that the terrorists talking in their head are U.S. government officials. They're not. Like, we're drugging you, we're testing civilians. And that's like, that is the that has been a consistent formulation, okay, to of these victims. Like they've come to this is the conclusions they've come to, but because they are like, and I hate to say this, but so unfortunately, I mean, I don't think they would have even thought they're Middle Eastern. I mean, honestly, where would they have come to that conclusion from? I mean, the people talking in their heads speak English and Arabic fluently. I mean, if you go to Egypt, they're linguists. They speak French, Spanish, Portuguese, German. I mean, every language you could think of. I've been there and I know. So they're talking in people's heads, and either in their own native language or in English, and making it sound as though they're people that are within the victim circles, so that they can isolate these people. And anyways, I was getting ready. I just want to wrap this up. I just want to make it very clear that I am 100% admitting to the fact that I hear voices talking in my head, and there are security cameras set up everywhere. And I will sit deliberately in front of a security camera until I've gotten at least enough time in front of the security camera where they're forced to talk because the telepathy technology is going to time out. And I make it very clear, like, here is the camera. Here I am. If they're really if they're really outside, then you should be able to hear those same terrorists talking in those security cameras. If the terrorists try to deny at all, okay, they're terrorists at all, that just, there's nothing to deny, honestly. If at all, once it comes to the forefront, like, okay, well, Renee was in front of the security camera for about 10 minutes. There's clearly screaming going on in her head. Screaming, laughing. Sometimes they laugh hysterically. They kind of try to, especially in front of security cameras, they try to blend in with the surrounding in hopes to say, oh, it caught something that wasn't in its view. Which isn't true at all. I'm in the car and I can drive on the freeway. I can hop on the freeway right now, drive 45 minutes, and I will hear them the entire time screaming their head off. And I can place my phone down just like I have and record what you hear, so you know what's actually going on. And I can post it online. Oh yeah, but I forgot the layer, because I freaked out for a second, because I am like 100% onto these terrorists, and I'm done talking, or done crying. I mean, I cry, but I'm done just crying. Like, I was thinking, like, there's no way anybody could be that way, this evil. I am past that. I am actually I've accepted the fact. I mean, it's still very shocking, but it's time for me to clear up the records and think as to how to protect myself and protect my family, or at least provide enough evidence that these terrorists are really talking in my head, to whoever holds the records. And anyways, I was going to say about the security cameras. So if in fact they were to say it's coming from her surroundings, the government has said, well, if nobody else brought forward that this was going on, no one called the cops over the obscenities she has heard. Nobody's, there's no witness that came forward to say, hey, we hear it too, even though nothing was caught on the camera. Well, no, what am I saying? If it's a sound. No, they played with my head. See what I'm saying? They're playing with my head. If it's a sound, it would have got caught on the camera. It doesn't matter if it's in view. But I'm saying, what was I saying? Yeah, that's that. Sorry, they're playing with my head. They just want to throw me off so I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. But they can do that. That is the weapon. That's what it can do. It's a very dangerous weapon that they're using. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my head from a remote location. People in my life I've encountered now, according to medical, according to my behavior and what I am explaining to them, they're not sure. It sounds like schizophrenia. I'm saying I hear terrorists talking in my head, flat out. In my head, but just to say that alone is obviously, or to say terrorist I'm saying they're talking in my head, terrorist, not terrorist, someone's talking in my head, puts me in the category of people that have auditory hallucinations. So, anyways, I'm done. I have to return a few things and get back to my daughter. But yeah, they're screaming in my head. Still, I want them sentenced to death. You hear me?